This is another part of Ryan's success series. We're focusing on how to build a mindset for success. This is a part of a series. Make sure you have watched the other videos that come before this in the playlist about how to build a specific mindset. Today we're talking about antifragility, fragile, resilient, and growth. What does this mean? Antifragility is the opposite of being fragile. A lot of things in this world are fragile, like yourself, like me, right? We all have our different limits. But I want you to think about the things that you experience in three different categories: fragile, resilient, and growth. Fragile means that you get a new work assignment, at your job, or you get a new deadline, you get a new project, and you really just can't handle it. And you actually just break under the stress. That's really fragile. And to be honest, maybe that's how you are in the beginning, but I hope that through a lot of this kind of conditioning and continually just trying to improve yourself, you can get out of this fragile zone. And hopefully the thing that will make you fragile will be a lot of work, a lot of, because you have these calluses in your head of how much work you actually do. To break you, hopefully it should take a lot. And the reason why I say it should take a lot is because you don't want just another assignment to just be the thing that just collapses your whole world. Because then if every time you get another assignment, get another piece of work, you can't handle that, then how are you going to become successful, right? But now let's going to focus on resilience and what that means. Resilient means that, okay, you get a lot of this stress. Let's say you get a lot of work you have to do, and you don't really change. You're able to handle it well, but you don't necessarily grow. And that leads us to the last category, which is growth. That comes from seeking out stress on purpose, because you need to understand that stress is good. Stress, it sucks so much. Everybody hates it, but it's good. And it's good for you in moderate amounts. Moderate stressors force you to grow, force you to think, force you to do new things, which makes you learn, and that will eventually cause a cycle of you becoming successful. But if you never seek out stress on your own, you will actually not ever grow. And that's just the truth. So I really want you to focus on fragile, resilient, and growth, because fragile, we don't want to be fragile in every single situation. We want to be able to handle quite a bit of work. And this is what I call your work tolerance. I've talked about this before. This is a muscle that you can build. How many hours of work can you do per day? How many times can you use to just doing more and more work without break or with break, and just in total, per week? Let's say you can take as many breaks as you want, but what is the maximum number of hours you can do of work per week? And you should really focus on trying to increase that as much as possible, maybe to you have eventually an upper limit, but just continue to increase that. And that's going to help you be, very not fragile in most cases, because you're going to be able to handle a lot of stuff. So that's going to allow you to stay emotionally, mentally just stable, instead of having a breakdown every 5 seconds that your teacher gives you another essay to write. Right? We can't have that happening. Resilient is also super important, because this is how you manage those stressors over time. You're going to have all these different things you have to do. And if you get used to just doing those, then you're going to be fine, right? You're not going to have any issues. But the problem is, too, if you get too used to doing these, you're not going to really grow from them either. So this is why most of the time we want to be in this resilient category, and we want to have a couple things that we've chosen that are going to be kind of extra difficult for us. That's going to lead to growth, though, and that's what we want. In order to keep moving forward, you really have to keep growing, and the only way to grow is to continually expose yourself to these kind of minor stressors. And by exposing yourself to these minor stressors, that will lead to more growth. But this is all in perspective, right? If you're resilient, you can handle quite a bit of stress. You need to add a little bit more on top of that to force yourself to grow. And that will ensure that you're constantly just always improving and getting better and just doing more and more amazing things.